How's it going, everyone? It's EV Kid back here with another video. Today I want to go over a company you may or may not be familiar with, and that is Solo or Electrameccanica. They are located out of Vancouver, Canada. I'll just pull up the stock here, but they have actually had an insane last month, or really even last year, so let's look at the chart. So if I zoom out a bit, you can see that a year ago they were trading at around roughly $2. That was back in January. If we fast forward a bit, they dropped off because of COVID down to $1 per share. And then right around June, they actually rocketed up to about $3. So they 3x'd from this point to here. And they came down a bit, and then they got all the way up to around $5 right there at the pinnacle. Then came down a bit October, and then boom, you see right in November they blasted all the way to $10, and I think the peak was actually more around $12 or $13, something crazy like that. Right now they're sitting at about $8.43. So I really want to know whether this is just a dip, or could this be something more, as in a full-on correction for this stock, because this has actually ran up around 500% in the last few weeks, which is absolutely insane. And if you zoom out even further, you can see that it's had similar patterns in the past. You can see back here in February of 2019, they were trading at $1.20, skyrocketed all the way up to almost $5 there, and then they slowly came down over the span of around a year, really. Alright, enough of that, but I have some notes that I just want to go through really quickly on the company. I think it's a really interesting and very unique company, really, because I'm not too sure, correct me if I'm wrong, if any other company is really doing anything like this. And the interesting thing about their business model is it's actually split up into two different main departments. One being the actual solo vehicles that they have recently begun producing, and they plan on selling them to actually regular people, just like any other EV. However, in my opinion, the more interesting part of their business is actually the custom orders that they're doing, and this would include events and other stuff like that, where they may need large fleets of vehicles, of small vehicles, to get around a small area. Alright, a quick overview of the specs of the Solo vehicle. It has a top speed of 80 miles per hour. The range is only 100 miles, which is not that far. 2.5 hour charge time, getting from 15% capacity to 90% capacity. And it goes from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 10 seconds. The interesting thing that they claim on their website is that their vehicles actually have 99% fewer parts than in combustion engine vehicles, which is great from a logistical and production standpoint on both the manufacturer, because there are less parts that they have to deal with, as well as on the consumer, because they are going to be prone to less breakdowns and less maintenance. So less costs on maintenance. You're also saving a lot of money on gas, which is the main thing that they're really trying to push. And if you go over here to the battery, you can see that it's a 17.3 kilowatt NCA liquid cooled battery. And if you compare that with the Tesla Model S, it actually has a 100 kilowatt hour battery. However, obviously the Tesla Model S is a lot larger and requires a larger battery. But just for reference, you can see that the battery is much smaller on the Solo rather than a typical electric vehicle. And I wanted to quickly go through the Q3 financial report that they released November 10th. And it's actually very interesting. They actually have listed off a list of things that they have accomplished during Q3 of this year. So I'll quickly go through them. They started production for the actual Solo vehicle, which is a great thing to see if you're an investor. That means they're moving forward with the prototype, and they're putting it into an actual product. Secondly, they're expanding into 3 new cities. It does say here that they are targeting EV friendly cities, which is always a good thing if you're an EV company. Third, they have revealed the actual fleet version of the Solo. So this means stuff like maybe even, I don't know, golf carts that might be pushing it, but private events, stuff like that. They could possibly be used to shuttle people around some sort of central hub, something like that. I think it's actually a really interesting idea from a business point of view. They have also narrowed their assembly facility site down to 2 states, and those being Tennessee and Arizona. So we'll see which state they go forward with. And that was a quick rundown of Solo, which has been absolutely going crazy on the stock market recently. And my opinion on this stock, I think it does have a lot of potential. However, recently with the monumental gains of companies like Neo, Xpeng, Tesla, etc., it seems like investors are really FOMOing into stocks like this and not buying them for what they're really worth, and just because they're an EV company essentially. So I do think that Solo, I like the business model. I don't think that they're there yet, but in the future, I think it could be a very interesting company. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure if you like the video, subscribe and stick around more, because I do have some more reviews on different companies coming out very soon, as well as lots of other content. So make sure you stick around for that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.